Unit 5, Day 1, Homework Tutorial. I will work out the odd problems with you to help you, and then you'll have to finish the rest. Alrighty. So the first question wants us to find segment AB if segment BD is a median of triangle ABC. We talked about it in class that if BD is a median, then it must go from vertex to midpoint, which means that D here is our midpoint. So that means that side AD is congruent with side DC. Since they are congruent, we can set them equal to each other. So that means x plus 3 equals 2x minus 1. Now we're going to find x. Subtract x on both sides. That leaves it with 3 equals x minus 1. Then add 1 to both sides, so that means 4 is equal to x. And now that I know what x is, I can find AB because I need to plug it in. So AB is equal to 4 minus 7, which is equal to negative 3. But that doesn't seem like it makes any sense. Let's check my math. X plus 3 is congruent to 2x minus 1. I subtracted x, so that's 3 equals x minus 1. And then I added 1, so x was 4. I mean, it doesn't sound right, but it has to be right. You should not have a side length that's negative, but in this case we do. Oh, you know what? I think I accidentally marked over a number. Hold on. That's what happened. Okay, that makes a world of a difference. So it's 2x minus 17. I'm supposed to add 17 to both sides. So that would give me x is equal to 20. Now that makes more sense. Alright. So again, AB is equal to 20 minus 7, which is 13. Alright, on number 3, it wants us to find the measure of angle ABC if segment BD is an angle bisector. So again, we talked about it in class. An angle bisector will cut angle ABC, which is a larger angle, into two small congruent angles. So ABD and DBC are the two congruent angles. It tells us that DBC is x plus 6. So that means that ABD is also x plus 6. It also shows us that angle ABC, which is the larger one, is 4x minus 6. So that means that 2 times the smaller angle, which is angle DBC, sorry, my handwriting horrible, should equal the larger angle, which is ABC. That means 2 times x plus 6 is equal to 4x minus 6. So distribute your 2 first. You have 2x plus 12 equals 4x minus 6. Subtract 2x. So you have 12 equals 2x minus 6. Add 6. You have 18 equals 2x. Divide by 2. So 9 equals And now it wants us to find ABC, so we need to substitute it back in to find ABC. So it says ABC is equal to 4 times x, so that's 4 times 9, and then minus 6. 4 times 9 is 36, and then minus 6 would be 30 degrees. Now to do number 5, we're going to need a grid. So hopefully I can find a grid tool, which would be awesome. Let me go to my gallery. Alrighty. So I have a grid, but it's kind of crazy, so bear with me. Well, I'll write down the coordinates and then I'll do it on a separate place. So I know that A is at 2, 5. B is at 12, negative 1. And C is at negative 6, 8. They want us to find the slope of a perpendicular bisector and find the slope of CL if it's the altitude from point C. Right? That's two things. So first we got to find the perpendicular bisector of AB and find the slope of CL, which is the altitude from point C. Alright? Now, let me see if I can find a better grid. That's better. Forgive me. I gotta get rid of the background. Let me just go to a new page. Alright. Drag that here. There we go. And go back. Remember this. Cut it. And paste it here. And I believe C was at negative 6 and 8. Alright. So I'm probably going to have to go by twos because I don't have 12 singles on here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm going the wrong direction. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and negative 1 would be here. So that's B. And then 2, 5, 2, and 5 would be here for A. And negative 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, and 8 down. Or up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be here. So let's see. This is a very narrow triangle. 12, negative 1 is B, 2, 5, and negative 6, 8. It's very narrow. From C to A, from A to B, and from B to C. Yeah, single or doubles wasn't probably the best thing to do to kind of spread it out, but I can only work with the space I have. So it wants us to find the perpendicular bisector of AB. So we need to find the midpoint of its opposite side. Well, actually, in order to find the slope of the perpendicular bisector, you would just need to know what is the slope of AB and then find the opposite reciprocal. Okay? So to find the slope of AB, you're going to have to use this little formula. Which is y2 minus y1, so that's negative 1 minus 5 over x2 minus x1, so that's 12 minus 2. So that slope would end up being negative 6 over 10, which reduces to negative 3 over 5. So that's the slope of AB. Now the slope of the line perpendicular to that would have to be change the sign, so positive, and flip, so positive 5/3. So that would be the slope of the perpendicular bisector. And then it wants us to find the slope of CL, where CL is the magnitude from point C. Our altitude. So going from C, it has to hit side AB and be perpendicular. But it also has to hit the midpoint. So we need to know the midpoint of AB. So the midpoint formula is x plus x, so that's 2 plus 12 divided by 2. And y plus y, 5 plus negative 1 divided by 2. So the midpoint would be 14 over 2, which is 7, and 4 over 2, which is 2. So 7, 2 would be the midpoint. 2, 4, 6, 7, 2 is the midpoint, right about there. And that's L. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The altitude has to form a right angle, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in the triangle. So leaving from C, if I were to continue extending line AB, if I extended it this direction, let's say, and I leave from C and form a 90-degree angle, that's the altitude. So this is CL. And it's asking for the slope of CL if it's the altitude. And if it's the altitude, it has to be perpendicular. So that means it has to be the same thing, 5, 3. This concludes your tutorial.